And we have some news just coming in at this point in time. Let's take a look at these developments. The Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi, is unlikely to attend the G7 meeting in Canada, is what we're learning. Canada yet to invite, and India isn't interested. Clearly, frosty ties and the Khalistan link take a toll on India-Canada ties. But Pranay, this is something that India isn't going to, even speak about or pay any heed to. Given that the sort of a reaction from Canada but expected, we know that ties are, have hit rock bottom over the last few months or so, and reasons, this is to be, it's Canada alone is to be blamed for this at the end of the day, isn't it?
You're absolutely right, Sneha, but this clearly shows the frosty and the strained state of relationship between India and Canada, which was, actually set in motion by none other than the Canadian former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in August 2020, September 2023, when he just completed visit of India and he went back and on the floor of Parliament, he alleged India of perpetrating, of targeted killing in Canada. But thereafter, we have seen the series of the attack on India by the Canadian officials in terms of the verbal attacks, and thereafter there was also reduction in the diplomatic staff. Therefore, it's not about G7 or a G8 or an international conference. This is all about the relationship with the host country as well, and therefore it's very unlikely that Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will travel to Canada for the G7 summit. If it happens, then it will be for the first time in 6 years, because India is among the special invitee countries for the G7 and G8 countries for long. And if this happens, because this is also a statement for Canada that Canada is not being able to include the major economies, because G7 has been a process of including major developed, global economies, the Western countries. And there is an inclination to engage with India, because India has become the fourth largest economy in the world, and therefore there is all the countries who hosted the previous G7 summits have invited India, be it Italy, be it France. All those countries did that, but so far there is no invite from the Canadian side, and nor there is an inclination on the Indian side to have such visit to Canada. Also, Sneha, there is a concern regarding the security arrangements in Canada. We have seen how Indian high commissioners, Indian officials have been howled by the Khalistani elements in Canada, and therefore there is a reluctance on the Indian side to have any such visit. Though last week, External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. Jaishankar, had a conversation with the Canadian counterpart, Anita Anand. However, that was only for the sake of courtesies, and because there is a new government in place in Canada. But it is the continuation of the same policy and the same party. We are yet to see, and more so, the last point I wanted to say that we are not even having a high commissioner in Canada. So before having any such high profile visit, you need to have at least a high commissioner. And we do not have even a high commissioner currently in place in Ottawa.
Pranay, be with us. I'll be getting in fact, Rabinder Sachdev, foreign affairs expert. Thank you so much for your time. I want to ask you, how do you look at this? India isn't obviously keen either, and the invitation hasn't come. There are security concerns as well. The ties between India and Canada have hit rock bottom over the last few months or so. The first time in years together, 6 years to be precise, that the Prime Minister will not be going for G7.
Thank you so much. On the one hand, it indicates the fraying world order, right? Right now, the world is in a flux and a new matrix is being formed. So these are vectors playing out there. India is on the rise. India counts as one of the nodes of the world geopolitics. Now, regarding Canada, yes, we had downturn in our relations during Trudeau. Now, the next Prime Minister definitely is repairing those relations. But I think maybe by not going, India is coming to Canada, that we would like to see some demonstrable progress shown by the Canadians towards our concerns. So I think I would look at it as of now with the information that we have available in that sense.
I want to ask you, this is also a concern on the part of India as far as safety is concerned. How do you expect India to respond to this? The fact that this is a group of the world's most economically advanced nations, and India not being a part of this important summit this time around.
Oh, absolutely. It has multiple ramifications, especially right now when the world economic and trade order is being heavily juggled in a way, right? And India not being there. Now, but on the other hand, regards the questions of security and all, I think that it is actually a blow to the image of Canada that it cannot arrange. I mean, if there any issue of security, it's the Canadian government, which cannot guarantee security. But I don't think India is looking at even that. If the Prime Minister has to go, he will go. Or if it's decided, right, security would be the last and security would be taken care of in any case. I don't think security should be or is any element of worry whatsoever. But the mere mention of this happening, especially through Khalistani elements who are promoting this narrative and discourse, I think is a blow to the image of Canada as a responsible, law-abiding nation. And that's what India has been asking for ever since several years.
All right, I'm going to thank you for joining in with your views on that. Canada, remember, isn't inviting India, and India also clearly not keen, given the manner in which our ties have hit rock bottom over the last few years. The encouragement for Sikh separatists, Khalistanis in Canada, which has irked and angered India. India isn't going to be a part of the G7 meet, is what we are learning at this point in time.